Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday's Tea and Toast. I've got my cup of coffee. I am joined by the lovely Sophie today. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, how's everyone?
We're all good. So it's really, really exciting that we've got Sophie here joining us today. She is the first person since COVID that I've actually had here in person, and I'm actually just not talking to a screen today. I'm going to be talking to Sophie, which is amazing. So we've got Sophie's got a tea, I've got my coffee, and we're just going to have a little natter. So, morning, Sophie. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. So, Sophie works at the Lowdown, and yeah, tell us a bit about the Lowdown then, Sophie. What do you guys do?
Yeah, so the Lowdown is a youth counselling charity in Northampton. So we cover any young person in Northampton who is between 11 and 25. So we've got our counselling service, we have a wellbeing service, which is drop-ins at the moment. We've got a sexual health service that is on pause at the moment just because of COVID.
Sure.
And then we've also got our LGBTQ groups. So we've got an out there group for 13 to 17-year-olds, and then we've got Out There Plus, which is for 18 to 25-year-olds. So that's everything in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We're doing remote counselling at the moment just because of COVID restrictions and the face-to-face element of that. So that is all online.
Okay. Amazing. And whereabouts in Northampton are you based? For anyone, I mean, I'm not sure where the Lowdown is. I don't know if you guys know. So yeah, where are you?
So we're just on Kingswell Street. So when you get into the town centre, if you're coming in from the station, you just walk down, past McDonald's towards the jewellers. You turn onto Gold Street, just before you get to the Travelodge, turn left and just go down Kingswell Street there.
So you're literally just up the road from us?
Oh yeah, just from
how did I not know this?
So you just look at the big red door.
Okay, brilliant. That's good to hear. See, I didn't even know that the Lowdown was just around the corner. So I've obviously got lots to learn still. So that sounds amazing. So you actually cover quite a different variety of subjects down at the Lowdown then. And how long have you been working there? Have you been at a long time, or?
So I started in November last year, so I'm relatively new to the Lowdown. But the Lowdown itself's been going for about 31 years now, just over.
Yeah, amazing. Wow, that's a long time, isn't it? And do you enjoy it there? Are you full time there? Or?
I am.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Fantastic charity. Really, I was part of the youth groups, and then now working there, I've had an all-round perspective.
That's a really good transition, isn't it? Because you get to see both sides. So and I think that's really, really, a great tool to have when you're dealing with those sort of things. Oh gosh, I completely forgot what I was going to say then. I know. Honestly, my brain's like, I feel like it's a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. So, how has COVID affected the Lowdown? For us, obviously, the Yard. These tea and toast sessions were all about really people just being able to drop in, have a cup of tea, have a bit of breakfast. But because of the restrictions, we can't now just have people drop in. We're having to ask people to book, which sometimes, can sort of hinder people from coming, because sometimes people don't want to have to book. They just want to have that flexibility, thinking, actually, I've got a spare hour today. I'll nip down to the Yard. Yeah. So how has COVID affected the Lowdown?
So it has affected us in terms of, we did have to stop the face-to-face service for a while for counselling. For 2 weeks we shut down while we sorted out all of the remote stuff. And then from April onwards, we had our remote sessions up and running for counselling. We couldn't do wellbeing drop-ins or wellbeing activities. So instead, we did some Instagram live series. Have you heard of Action for Happiness?
No.
So Action for Happiness, another great charity. But they do this thing called 10 Keys to Healthier Living.
Okay.
So each key is a tip to how to improve your well-being. So whether that's mindfulness, setting goals, finding purpose, just to name a few. And we did a session on each of these keys.
Oh, amazing.
When me and a counsellor, because I'm not a qualified counsellor, we would go live and we would talk about the different keys, and we would have service users and young people from the charity write in and ask questions.
Oh, okay.
So we did these 10 keys, and then we did a few extra lives because they went very well on the main things that we were getting asked. So like anxiety advice, advice with low mood and depression, where our counsellors would give advice and people would write in with their questions, and they would give advice there and then.
Amazing.
So we've had to come up with remote ways of doing all of our services, as I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, I think that's the key, isn't it? It's finding different ways to do things. I think we're all working in such a different world now, in a different way, just that we can still let people access some services without having it, in the face-to-face. So just, Laurel said good morning. Morning, Laurel. Hope you are good and having a good Tuesday so far. But yeah, so the other day was World Mental Health Day. Did the Lowdown do anything to,
so normally we might have a drop-in. As we had time to talk, we had a drop-in, we had different activities and encouragement to talk about mental health. We weren't able to do that this year.
Yeah. But it's sad, isn't it? It feels like, there's lots of different things that are missing out on what we normally do.
So what we did instead, we like I said, we've had our Instagram lives and things.
Yeah.
So we just pulled some bits of advice that were given from those and just put them in social media format and posted those to say, some advice from young people to help with young people with mental health. And, we would normally have like an event as such, but we just can't.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Restrictions.
That's it, and you just can't have the the amount of people that you normally have perhaps coming in, dropping into those. It's just not doable at the moment. Which, I really hope that we are going to get back soon to some sort of normality. But it's not looking very likely at the moment, is it? I mean, just sort of going off topic a bit, I think on Tuesdays on My Tea and Toast, we normally chat about perhaps if there's anything local going on that's quite relevant, or perhaps, national, and I guess what's quite in topic at the moment is the 3-tier system we heard about last night. So I'm just going off on a tangent here, Sophie, just go with me. So I just think, I wonder how everyone's feeling about this 3-tier thing, because I don't know. I mean, obviously Liverpool's going on to the very high one tomorrow. A few of the other places are on the high and we're on the medium. But then I heard on the news yesterday that Northampton's actually now 12th highest in the country with COVID. And I was shocked to hear that, because I thought we were actually, we sort of turned it around, but apparently not. But what do you think about the 3-tier system? Do you think?
As anything is going to have its drawbacks and anything's going to have its positives, and it's just impossible to say if it's good or bad. I think it's if that's what the experts think is the best way, then that's what's the best way.
I think we've got to give it a chance and see how it works, haven't we? My worry, sorry to interrupt, just from watching Boris yesterday, is that when he said the amount of hospital admissions at the moment is now higher than what it was when we went into lockdown on March the 23rd. Now that, I thought, oh blimey, I didn't realise we were back. But our deaths are still down, aren't they? So, I don't know. I mean, we've got to give the 3-tier system a chance. Whether, I guess we'll find out in a week or so, whether maybe, I think it's a couple of weeks for the numbers to sort of take effect. But it's definitely a worrying time.
Well, I want to say as well, I've been really impressed with, we started up our face-to-face counselling just from the people on our waiting list. I've been so impressed by the amount of young people that have been coming in, and they sanitize their hands, they wear their masks, they stay in their area, they respect all of the rules, and I just think that's fantastic. I think it's so amazing that people are, willing to do.
Oh, definitely. And it's funny you should say that, because I think sometimes the younger people are getting blamed for the spread, and actually, I don't think it necessarily is the younger people. I mean, I don't think there's one age group or genre or anything you can blame. I think it's a combination of things. But actually, from what I've seen, just on a personal view, if I've seen people out and about, the younger people have been abiding to the rules and they've got their face masks and everything. So, but that's great to hear that everyone that you sort of encountered, are wanting to keep, follow the rules. I think we're all just feeling a bit like, I don't know about you, Sophie, but I want to have a sort of normalish Christmas. I know it probably won't be the same, but that's on everyone's minds, I guess. And I just think if we can all follow the rules and try and get the numbers down, then it might mean that we can have a bit of a better Christmas than, I mean, I don't think any of us want to go on a national lockdown again.
No. I think that's why these things are in place, to just stop that happening.
Definitely. And, I think it was one thing having a national lockdown throughout the summer when the weather was great. And it worries me for people's mental health that if we were to go on a national lockdown and in the winter months, I think it's going to be a lot harder and then a lot more taxing on people's mental health, because sometimes the days are long and dark, and being stuck inside all day. When it was the summer lockdown, we wanted to get out for that hour's exercise, didn't we? You could sit in your garden, and I guess we're just not going to have that. But I guess all we can do is all try and follow the rules and just hope that we can get this all under control again.
What I will say as well, I have to be careful when I talk from a mental health perspective.
Sure.
I'm a qualified mental health first aider.
Okay.
I've been through the mental health system myself, so I have some knowledge,
Yeah.
but I'm not a qualified counsellor or a doctor. But there is definitely, an element of having to do a little bit extra to keep your mental health in check when you are in lockdown or under restrictions, or having to self-isolate.
Yeah.
It's really vital, what I found myself, just to prioritise the self-care element, whether that is, I'm going to sit and really enjoy my cup of tea this morning, or I'm going to have such a nice bath, or I'm going to have such a nice walk if you can, and, taking pleasure in those little things. Yeah. It's a little bit extra oomph that you need to get through the day if you are struggling, because it is hard to be isolated. We're social creatures.
Yeah.
We need that connection.
Absolutely. And, what I used to say, during lockdown, I do every Thursday night, I do a live on Facebook and just talk, a little bit about mindfulness and well-being. And what I always said, and what I think really helps, is although if you are stuck in isolating, or still keeping connected to people, so making those phone calls, whatever sort of avenue of speaking to people you can, continue that, because sometimes, although you might not be able to see someone face to face, just having that conversation, it can really change your mood, can't it?
100%.
And obviously when we was in lockdown, it was a very long time, I was even encouraging people to write letters. I like a real going back to old school, because I know my children wrote letters to the grandparents, and just receiving that letter every now and again was a real boost. So yeah, I agree with you. Self-care is really important, and if we do find ourselves going on any sort of lockdown, or you are self-isolating, it's really important that you make that bit of time for yourself a priority. I always said that getting out for that bit of exercise, and even if it's just a walk around the block, getting a bit of fresh air, changing your scenery, looking at some of the nature around, that can also really give you that little bit of a mind boost as well, can't it?
Yeah.
But let's hope, on that note, we're not going to get to that point. So let's have a look what Laurel says. Laurel says, what is the 3-tier system? Okay, so Laurel, did you see Boris's speech last night? So basically, the country has gone onto a 3-tier sort of level of alert, so to speak. So most of the country, including Northampton at the moment, are medium. And then we have a high, and then we have a very high. So when you go into high, there starts to be further restrictions. So medium, we have to follow the rule of 6, and we have a 10 p.m. curfew. High, there's a few more, I can't remember exactly what. I think they can't, oh no, Laurel didn't watch Boris. Don't blame you, Laurel. You didn't miss much. So I think if you go into high, you can only buy alcohol if you're eating a meal. So I think pubs can't run in just serving alcohol, and I think it might be a 6 p.m. curfew for pubs and restaurants and things like that. And I think you can't mix households. And then if you go into very high, which Liverpool are going in tomorrow, I think the pubs are closing, lots of things are closing, and there's no mixing. So pretty much like lockdown was. So yeah, you just got to keep aware of what level we're on. So Northampton, we're currently medium. So we're still okay to keep to the rule of 6, inside or outside. And yeah, pubs and things like that, and restaurants have to shut at 10. But as I was just saying to Sophie a minute ago, I don't know if you heard, Laurel, apparently Northampton's 12th on the list of highest COVID cases, new cases at the moment. So we perhaps want to keep an eye on that. Boris said on the TV last night that soon there's going to be, you enter your postcode into an app on the website or something, and it will tell you what level you are. So if you're unsure where we are, or where, if you're going to a different area or something, you'll be able to find out what the level is. However, I don't know when that facility will be available. So I'm sure if you Google, you'll be able to find out where you are. But then Laurel's also said, I think she's referring to what we were talking about before, elderly people are more likely to be admitted to hospital in the winter anyway. Yeah, that's right. And I guess that's the problem with COVID hitting us at this time of year. I mean, I remember back in the summer, they said, it's going to be tricky again when we get to these times of months, because we are inside more, and apparently this virus breeds more on the, you know, the cold. And so unfortunately, this is why although the death toll is down, we still have to be worried about our elderly and our vulnerable, because like you say, Laurel, they are admitted more so over this time of year with just flus and, you know, coughs and colds, which then can turn nastier if you're vulnerable. So yeah, that's why we've got to follow the rules, and that's why we have to, it's not for us, you know, it's not so much keeping us safe, it's keeping our elderly and vulnerable safe, and that's what's really important. You know, we want to keep ourselves safe as well. But so yeah, that's it really. Let's just hope that Northampton stays on the medium so we can all have some sort of relatively okay, you know, lifestyle at the moment. I feel sorry for people in Liverpool because they're really gonna be hit hard, I think, from tomorrow. But their new COVID case rate's ridiculously high, so I guess it's needed. So, Sophie, thank you so much for coming in to join me today. That was so lovely to have a conversation with someone in real life and not just talk to a screen. If you keep watching me this week, I've actually got a few people coming in, so it's not just going to be me boring you, you know, just talking on and on. I've got some other people starting to join me, so I'm really excited. So thanks again, Sophie. And guys, remember, if you need to access the Lowdown, is it best for them to call you, or?
You can call, yes. So our number is 01604 634 385. You can call, just have a chat about, you know, if it's worth putting in a referral, or just have a chat about services. If you want to have a look at any of the services in a bit more detail, our website is thelowdown.info. And all of our service information is on there, as well as remote resources, apps that you can download to help your mental health. Lots and lots of different things on the website. Our social media on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, it's all at Lowdown and N1. So if you want to have a look at either mental health tips or just see what we're up to, social media is the one to follow as well. Or yeah, like I say, all the other information about services is on the website. If you think you might benefit from, you know, either a wellbeing drop-in, you can book over Zoom, or some counselling, then yeah, have a look at the website to see if you like the feel for it, and then if you want to give us a call to talk about it, you can do.
Amazing, thank you. So that's it for our tea and toast this morning then. Thanks again, Sophie. It's been lovely talking to you this morning. Nice. Have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you all again tomorrow, 10:30ish. See you later. Bye.